Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Gemma Toner on the line, and she's founder and CEO over at Tone Networks. Gemma, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm excited to get more into Tone Networks and what you're doing for your clients. Let's just start out with a little bit more of a background of why you started and your mission.
Sure. Well, I actually didn't start out as an entrepreneur. I actually started out in a corporate role, retired and thought I was going to do philanthropy and give back, and that my objective was to help women. And then in that journey, I actually realized there was a market opportunity, and so I decided to start this company, which is Tone Networks. And our focus is we are a content and technology company, and what we provide is a leadership and coaching platform that is designed for women in early to mid-career, if you will. And the way we help our partners is we actually give them a scalable way to reach thousands of women in their organizations with expertise and coaching, as opposed to what traditionally happens when it comes to development and especially executive coaching, which is that it's reserved for a very, very small percentage of the population.
Oh, man, I love your mission because for anybody out there that's mid-career level, I mean, there's nothing for them anymore. It's basically like this. If you're not already in the executive seat, then you're not going to go that route because you're not going to fit the demographic. You don't have the same challenges as mid-level career people. It's a completely different type of coaching and model because you have different responsibilities. If you're just getting started, then there's a ton of resources because people let's just say millennials or the next generation, they have all this attention on the next level of workforce. Well, what happens if you're in between? What happens if you've been in your role for 10 years and you've moved up in the company and you're kind of in that middle ground and you're thinking, does it make sense to stay here? Does it make sense to go somewhere else? And what do? You send out your resume or you have to talk to maybe a recruiter or something like that. But after those two options are kind of exercised, what do you do?
Yeah, and I think what we've found is that, the type of content that we're providing and the type of expertise that we're creating in the video content that we deliver, it is suitable for folks for women that are in early to mid stage. And what I mean by that is, type of topics that we're covering are topics like, key stakeholders, the difference between a mentor and a sponsor. Those are things that, I wish I had known early in my career. And so our goal is to really help women move along that talent pipeline in their organizations and to own it and to be able to know to ask for feedback if they're not getting feedback. And also to think about the woman as a whole person. One of the things that Tone does is we are looking at helping women develop both professionally and personally. Because at the end of the day, none of us cross the threshold of our office and split ourselves down the middle and say, my personal life is at the door. Our personal and professional lives are intertwined. And so we're really looking to help women address that work-life balance challenge and the stress components and ways to really focus a little bit more on self-care. Some of the things that we've recognized as we talk to women on a national basis, we're always out there doing research, is that, there are one of the major issues we have is making time for ourselves. And so part of what Tone does is we actually push content and encouraging communications to help women actually take that moment for themselves, to learn something new, to move forward in their lives.
What kind of feedback have you received on this from the community? Because it sounds like an amazing program and thought of what you're doing. What kind of feedback have you gotten?
Well, it's great to ask. We actually just got a customer experience survey back, so I actually have a lot of that top of mind. I would say that what women are playing back to us when we ask them, how is tone helping you and what do you need from tone? What I would say is they appreciate that the content is short and to the point, which was very specific as to how we designed the short form videos. They're very short in nature, but they also are packed with information and have what we call our tone takeaways. So it's basically, here's your 1, 2, 3. You know what? You need to know what executive presence is, and here are the 1, 2, 3s of what you need to remember. So they seem to like the actual content, the subjects that we're delivering, as well as it being short form in nature. And the other piece that they are really liking is that they get to decide what they want to learn about. They also get to decide what is delivered to them. And what I mean by that is the way we delivered the software system is that we actually ask our members what they're interested in so that we don't waste their time serving them content that's not of interest to them. And the best way for me to describe that is if I'm not a working mom, I don't want working mom information because it doesn't apply to me. So we really look at what each woman needs, and then the way the system works and the way the platform works is we then customize it based on what is going to serve them best, if you will.
Oh my gosh, I love it. The tone takeaway. I'm a sucker for alliteration. You had me at tone takeaway, Gemma. I can't take it. It's so good.
Well, I got to tell you, if you like alliteration, we got this other thing called Tone Talk. So part of why I founded Tone was I wanted to democratize access to high-level experts and executive coaching. And so the way we've done that is we've created this SaaS platform. So it's a software platform that houses all of this original content, that being the 1,000 videos that we already have in our library. But the other piece that women need, you were asking about feedback, is we need community, and we also want women to have access to these experts in a different forum. And so what we do is we actually have what we call Tone Talks, which is a half-hour coaching session once a month where you basically come into our interface as a Tone member, and there is a live executive coach there talking about a specific subject. And you're actually learning with other women from all different companies across the country. So there's this sense of community. You're also learning from those other women because the way the interface works, you're actually asking questions of the executive coach live. So let's say we've all had that experience where you have a question, but you're not quite sure you want to ask it, and someone else does. That's an experience that is actually replicated in a Tone Talk. You'll see that someone in the community has asked a question that you can then learn from. So that's Tone Talk. We also have another live stream format, which is called Tone Live. Slightly different look and feel, if you will. It looks more like a studio show. It's created in a studio with a host and some experts. And this month we're actually taking on unconscious bias, and we'll have Dr. Stephen Jones and HR expert Lori Rosenfield in our studio for a discussion on the importance of understanding what unconscious bias is and how do we move forward from that. So the purpose of Tone is to get women access in form factors that work for them, whether that is a on-demand video that's pushed to them on whatever device makes sense for them whenever they have that time, as well as being able to join into a community where you can learn together through these live streamed events.
I love it. And so how do people get access to Tone? Let's start there.
Yeah, we have several business models. I would say the one that is most prevalent is that companies are actually buying Tone networks for their female employees. And so that's where, we're working with companies like JetBlue, Coca-Cola, ANC Networks, the Atlanta Braves. These are all companies that are looking to support women in their organization and support their development through the talent pipeline, if you will. And so we are a part of that effort. So that's the majority of our business. There is an opportunity for individuals to also buy our product just online, but the majority of business is really through B2B.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Gemma, it's been awesome having you on the show today. If somebody does want to learn more, where do they get that info?
Most definitely hop over to tonenetworks.com, and you're always welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from the folks in the audience.
Fantastic. Well, again, Gemma, thank you for coming on. Love all the work and all the amazing things you're doing over at Tone Networks to help your clients and to help businesses, attract and retrain their employees. So great stuff there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, share this with your friends and family. I mean, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. It means a lot to me and my team. And Gemma, thanks again for coming on the show.